For this study, I chose to do a fashion fabric of 100% cotton and a lining fabric of 100% polyester. The first test that I conducted was a dimensional stability test. For this, I took 3 specimens from both the fashion and lining fabric to test. These were both 15 by 15 cuts. I then measured the initial measurements and then placed all of the cuts into the laundry. I then placed them into the dryer and set it to tumble dry. Once they were dry, I then measured the final measurements. After that, I resulted the difference, added them together, and found the mean. In the end, both the fashion and lining fabric both passed this test. Next, I conducted an appearance retention test, using the results from the previous dimensional stability test. For this test, I looked at all 3 of the specimens and ranked them 3 times, for a total of 9 rankings. I then added them up and found the mean to see if they passed or failed. The end result was that the fashion fabric failed and the lining fabric passed. Next, I conducted a tear strength test. I took 2 specimens from both the fashion and the lining fabric. I cut them in cuts of 8 by 3 from both warp and weft directions. I then calculated the mean and saw if they passed or failed. For this, the fashion fabric passed and the lining fabric failed. Next, I looked at pilling. I cut 3 specimens from both the fashion fabric and lining fabric. All cuts were 413 by 413. I then put a coat of nail polish around the edges so that they would not fray. I then placed these cuts into the machine wash and then tumbled dry. I then looked at the results and rated them. In this test, both fashion fabric and lining fabric have passed. Lastly, I conducted a stain removal test. I took 4 by 4 specimens from both the fashion fabric and the lining fabric. I then marked them with the same marker and then sprayed them with the same solution. I then put them in a washer and a dryer, tumble dry, and then rated the results. For both fashion and lining fabric, they have failed this test. After conducting these 5 performance attribute tests, I can safely say that these 2 fabrics are compatible together. Though some results differ, cotton and polyester do work well together.